if you just want to go ahead and introduce yourself, and then we can just kind of get the ball rolling.
Okay, I can do that. So hi, everyone. I'm super excited to be here. Thank you, Catherine, for inviting me to speak to your people and trusting me to do that. I am Jenn. My name is Jenn Overway, and tomorrow I will be a coach for 6 years, which is just pretty, right? That's pretty, it's just one of those things. Like, I always look at my husband. We've been together for 16 years now, and I'm just like, that just seems so long. When did that happen? You must be doing something right? And so I started with Turbo Fire, and I just started as a discount coach because my husband's in the military and I wanted Shakeology for a discount. And then I did what a lot of you probably have done. I was posting just for accountability because I'm super old and it was way before challenge groups on my Facebook, and I realized that I could help people. I actually told my coach, don't even try to get me to do anything with this. I'm not selling your stuff. I'm not gonna do it. And when I saw her coach posting about challenge groups, I was like, wait a second, like, what is that? And she's like, oh, you just like get a small group of people. And I was like, I can do that. And so that is how I started. And 6 years later, I'm always really bad at this part, so forgive me, but the accolade thing, I'm just like, it's whatever. It's just part of my life. I am a 6-star diamond coach and have such an amazing team, and I teach 5 of there's 6 of them now, live Beachbody Live formats, which I think is my favorite part. So, but I'm really excited, and I heard that you guys have been blowing up with the team growth and all of the amazing things that you guys have going on. And so I'm super excited to talk to you guys a little bit about the consistency through maybe some rougher times, because we all have them, right? And then a little bit about LIIFT4, because I don't know if she told you, but I am also in the test group for LIIFT4, and it's pretty amazing. So hopefully I can be short and sweet. You guys can ask questions if you have them, and then yeah, does that sound good? All right, perfect. So I think, how long have you guys been a coach for? You guys can like put up fingers or whatever. I also am really bad about just looking at the camera. So the more you guys engage, that just is great. It makes me feel less weird. So are you guys super new? Yeah, about? No?
Kind of a combination, actually.
I love that.
I just joined beginning of March.
Oh, beautiful. Okay. So that's
Jenn
super
has
awesome.
the most amazing transformation pictures.
Yeah.
From like January to now, she's killing it.
Yeah, so you know what I did today? Actually, I always share the transformation pictures in Instagram stories, and I tagged Carl in it today, and he asked to repost them, and he posted, if you go to his Instagram, my lady, it's her transformation pictures. He snapped my pictures that I posted, and he posted them, and then he reposted them in his Instagram stories. Yeah. I was super excited about that. That never happened before. So do that. And make sure you do the Beachbody Challenge. So you guys have a really great idea. The ones that have been here for a long time and the ones who, you're new, you guys have a solid idea of like the ebbs and flows, and you know that just like the amazing things are going to happen, and then you're going to have those things where it's just like, do I really need to do this right now? Like, I'd rather not do this right now. And so there's really no secret sauce, and I know that you guys hear that all the time, but there really isn't. I think that the one thing, it was right after Summit last year, when I met Catherine, I kind of had like this huge slump in my business, only because we were moving from Texas to Tennessee, and it was wild. It was a wild time. It was super stressful. And like, I really couldn't focus on much else besides like keeping the kids sane. Right. But the one thing I did do consistently was show up every day. I Instagram storied. I hope you guys are doing Instagram stories. I know that it's like nerve wracking and kind of scary to learn at first, but it's like, it's where it's at. I Instagram storied a little bit of my workouts, and then I posted my food for accountability. Like, in being 100% honest, it was like just for my personal accountability, because otherwise it wasn't going to happen. And so I shared all of those things, but I also, like, it was just one of those moments. I think it comes in the fourth quarter, mostly towards the end of the year. It's like everybody stops wanting to work on their fitness because they want to save money, and then they're just like, I'm just going to start again in the beginning of the new year, right? It's normal. It happens. But the best thing that you can possibly do is stay consistent, stay showing up, starting those new conversations. I mean, I don't have to tell you guys that, right? You guys already know that stuff. But what I will say is this: the thing that keeps me focused, no matter what, no matter those frustrating times when you're just like, I don't know what you're saying to me right now. Why are we even having this conversation? And those, most amazing moments is, why are you doing this? And I know that everybody always talks about your why, right? Well, when I started coaching, I didn't have like a why that made me cry. I didn't have anything like that. I was just super pumped. I was super excited. I just wanted to help people. I wanted them to feel like I had felt, because I was this just very angry, very impatient, very like, I don't want to even hear my kids start laughing and having fun because I'm just so disgruntled. And I know it sounds terrible, but that's how I was. And so I think we all have those moments, right? I'm just waiting for my kid to walk through the store. Every time I'm on a Zoom when he's home, he's just like appears in the back door. The one time he didn't even have clothes on. So I'm sorry now. But anyway, the one thing that I sat down with at the beginning, or it's towards the end of last year, and I was telling my Beachbody mentor, Keyshawn. Do you guys know who Keyshawn is? Oh, she's amazing. She's amazing. So whenever you hit that diamond rank, right, you get a Beachbody corporate mentor. And then as you go up in the ranks, you get to work with different people. And so take advantage of that. Make that a goal, and then take advantage of that, because they just open your eyes to so many, like just new ways. They can help you. They work with a lot of people, and they can just kind of help you. And I guess I should also say that one of the things that I learned, and I think that frustrated me, was that my coach, the coach that I signed up with, she fell out of the business. She wasn't there. She up and left. She went to another company. She just wasn't here. She wasn't here. And so I really very much felt like alone a lot of times. But then mainly, when you're moving across the country and like, your kids are disgruntled because they had to leave all their friends and stuff like that. And so I was talking to Keyshawn, and she said, why do you do this? And I was like, honestly, it's not for the money. It's not for all of the glory. It's not for all of the recognition. I said, I just really, I was in a place in my life where I had lost a piece of myself. Like, I was a wife, I was a mom, I was like a housekeeper and a solid caretaker. I kept everybody alive, but who was I? And when I found that piece of myself, I didn't want to lose it. And when I realized that I could help other women find that piece of themselves, I was like, yes, I could do that for the rest of my life. That makes me feel amazing. And it's so fulfilling. And she said, okay. She said, so I want you to do a couple things for me. And she said, so I went through this exercise, and I wrote down, and I hope that you guys do this exercise too, and I hope that you do it frequently. You don't have to just do it once a year. I wrote down she said, write down your joy goals, write down your personal goals, and write down your Beachbody goals in that order. And I'm sitting here talking to my Beachbody mentor, right? And I'm like, so I'm supposed to connect this all up, right? Because you think okay, so this all has to be about Beachbody right now. And when I tell you, I was not in a Beachbody mindset. I was like, listen, I don't know that any of this is going to connect to Beachbody whatsoever. Like, I'll tell you my Beachbody goals, but I don't have a rank goal. I don't have an income goal. Like, I needed desperately to find like this piece of joy, because I just, like you get in those moments and you're frustrated and life starts pulling at you, and it's like, why? Like, what is going on right now? And, and it's super, super easy to make this, it's easy when you're frustrated and discouraged to find, to kind of lose that, like lose reasoning in your life. You're just like, no, I'm done. And so I was not done. I will be my coach, one of my coaches, she says that she's my, she says I'm not gonna even say what she actually says, because I don't know you guys that well, and she's kind of inappropriate. But she says we're like cockroaches. We're like Beachbody cockroaches. We're gonna like make it through the apocalypse and still be like bleeding blue. So this is nice.
We won't be offended, I promise.
She calls us fitness herpes. We just keep coming back. So we're not going anywhere. It's the gift that keeps giving. I wasn't going anywhere, and I had, reassured her of that, but I was like, listen, like, I can't even wrap my head around big business goals right now, because I didn't have the joy. Like, I couldn't find the joy in the moment. And so she had me walking through, and she asked me, why I did what I did. And I was honest with her. Like, why did you start? Don't think about why you keep going in this moment, because it changes so much. But like that moment when you were like, yes, like that makes my heart full. What was that? And so I hope that you guys write that down too, because your joy goals, and then your joy goals. Your joy goals are seriously things that bring you joy. Like Catherine, I know you love Disney, right? And I don't know much about everybody else, but like, I really love being able to, my husband's in the military. As much as my kids argue every single day after school, like I do like being here when they're here. And I really find a lot of joy and happiness in, I volunteer, and I kind of mentor wives whose husbands are deployed and kind of get them through that. And it's not something I always share about. It's just, what I do. And so I was going through my joy goals for her. And then I went through my personal goals, and I said, part of my personal goals is that I'd like to volunteer at my son's school a little bit more. And I'd like to be a little bit more involved in this and a little bit more involved in that. And then it came to my business goals. And I was like, listen, I want to rebuild my team, and this is what I want to do. But she like totally didn't even pay attention to the personal and the Beachbody goals. And I want you to not pay attention to those right now either. I want you to like look at your joy goals and think about the reason why you started this. But even more so, like as you go through and you write out your joy goals separately from everything else, and you write out your personal goals separately from anything else, and then you write out your Beachbody goals personally or separately from everything else, I want you to then take a step back and go back to that reason, that thing that like sets your soul on fire when it comes to coaching. And I want you to look at those goals and just look how they all connect. And it's kind of hard for me not to like, this is something I would walk my team through like, and look at their goals and kind of connect it for them, which I'm sure Catherine can totally connect the dots for you. I'm sure you guys could connect the dots too. Because the activities are all the same, right? We start the conversations, we have the conversations, we invite, we follow up, we add new people to our network. That's what we do. And product is a product, and we recognize and we celebrate. So the thing that keeps consistency going is you and your joy and your heart and your passion about what you're doing. So I would look at your joy goals and see how does that connect to your business, your Beachbody goal. Like, because your joy goals are the goals, the very most important goals, because as long as you are always working towards those joy goals, the rest of your goals will always come into place, and you will always feel passionate and excited about what you're doing. Does that make sense? Yeah? Okay. So one of the example of one of the joy goals that I set is I went back and I told her, I was like, I just love helping these women. And she said, okay, well, how can you track that? How can we celebrate that every step of the way, right? Before you break all of those goals down, how can you celebrate that? Like, what does that look like for you? Because we all have success. We all have that thing that we start out doing, and we kind of, we hit that goal that kind of proves to us that we can do this. And so what does that look like? But what is your joy goal? And mine was, the way that I tracked it was to I wanted 200 transformation stories, whether they were coach successes or challenger successes, and put them in a binder. And like Carl has, I don't know if you guys have seen him post those, like his success binder. I collect them all up. And my biggest joy goal, like the biggest goal that I had for the entire year, was solely to collect 200 of those transformations by summit. That was it. That was my biggest goal in the whole year. And and focusing on that, it keeps my team excited, because we can celebrate that, right? We can celebrate every life. I can celebrate that with genuine, like intention, and like that just the passion, that excitement, right? Because who doesn't love celebrating a challenger who just lost 28 pounds? Or a coach who just, like, I have one of my coaches, she totally is getting a boob job with her coaching money, and she's excited about that. And that makes me excited about that. Just like those things that truly mean something to you or to your challengers that, they might not get recognized by Beachbody on a huge scale. Nobody else might really care about them, but your team does. Your challengers do. Those kind of things, those kind of excitement and joy things, those are the goals that you should focus on, and that should always kind of remind you. Those are the goals you should set first, always, that remind you of what you love about this. And I promise, looking at that and writing and going back to that, and kind of like when you're in that moment and you're just like, I didn't hit my goal last month, but being able to go back and look at, like, I set a recruitment goal for like every month so far, and I've yet to hit it. And normally I would get so frustrated because I'm a perfectionist and I like beat myself up about it, but I can go back and look, and I will have met that joy goal. And that just kind of reminds me that I'm doing the right thing, because I'm filling up my heart, and the income and the rank advancement and all of that stuff has come with it. Our team has moved from like I think we started out 2,500 or something in the network to the top like 800 coaches over the last 2 months. And so all of the good things that we strive and we kind of focus on, and like rank and elite and the income and all of those things that I've spent so many years like focusing on, and then so frustrated that they weren't reached, are all happening on their own, just because I'm like so focused on filling up this binder with as many success stories as I can. And I do, and it just allows me, and to focus on those joy goals, it allows you to, not kind of, I don't know. So I'm a very honest person. I don't know if you guys know this about me, but I know that at one point in time, there comes a moment when you're striving for a rank, or you're trying to get that last bit of Success Club, or, whatever it is that you're trying to do. And you're kind of like, why won't these people just sign up? Like, if they would just sign up, I would have my goal. And you kind of like put it onto them, and then all of a sudden you kind of just like relinquish all of your control, and it's just like somebody else's fault. But by just kind of going back to that one goal, like, what was that purpose that you were trying to do? What was that biggest goal that you set? That funnest goal? I don't know if you guys, I don't even know if funnest is a word, but if you guys didn't read Finish by Jon Acuff, he talks about fun goals, and he said nobody ever makes fun goals because it's the opposite of perfectionism. Like when you set a goal, all of a sudden you set this goal and you know that you can attain it, and then all of a sudden like you should make it even bigger and you should go all in on it and you should make it perfect, and you kind of like beat yourself up about it because you know you have to be perfect with it, and then if you don't reach it, it's like, oh, I can't do this. It's like the end of the world. But he said if you set fun goals, like you can't not want to, like you want to achieve it, right? It's something that's super fun. And so I guess that's when I read that today, I was reading the book today and I kind of linked that with the joy goals. So if you set those goals that you always want to go for, the consistency, the ebbs and the flows of the business, they almost just go away. I don't even know.
What was the name of that book? Sorry, I missed it.
It was Finished
Finish.
by John Acuff. I don't even remember. It's like finish. If you type in Finish, you'll see it.
Okay.
He was the Success Club, the guy who
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. He did that. But yeah, and he talks about, you know, like it's easy to start, but if you can't finish, you know, whatever. But anyway, what I have found to help me and to help my team the most when it comes to staying consistent is setting the joy goals, and then you as a leader, as you build your team, you making sure to go back to their joy goals. Don't focus so much on the Success Club or whatever, but make sure that you're also celebrating those joy goals. So as you kind of implement that into yourself, share those with your leader, your challengers. You know, what are some ways? Like, I mean, we all have that challenges. Like, I just want to like look at myself in the mirror and be proud, or, you know, I want to fit into this pair of pants, or I want to like go through the weekend without eating the pizza. We all have that. So celebrate all of those things, because when it comes to joy goals and fun goals, like it doesn't, there's no ranking system to that. It's whatever like makes your heart smile. And that's, I mean, that's why we do this, right? Because it just makes us feel good. So set goals around that you can measure and that you guys can celebrate as a team to, you know, if anything, go back and be like, I didn't hit, you know, Success Club 1 million this month, and I didn't sign 10 coaches, but damn it, if I didn't help all of my challengers lose at least 10 pounds, like that is why we're here. Is that helpful? Was that helpful, Catherine? Okay.
Yes, that was very helpful. Thank you.
You're welcome. So yeah, I would go back. I would write down like why you started coaching, your joy goals, your personal goals, your business goals, and then how can you measure those joy goals and celebrate them as a team. That was a whole long way to go about saying that one thing, but I hope it makes sense.
It was perfect.
Yay. Okay. And so, did you guys have any questions about any of that? No? No? Any questions about anything?
How many people do you have in your binder right now?
You know what? I was actually just saying I needed to print that out and write it up. So that's the other part of that. I'm not so good at the organization part. But I do know how many challengers I have, and I do know how many coach success stories. I want to say I have a solid 160 so far.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So, and then I mean, LIIFT4 is coming out. Everybody's doing the 2B mindset right now. We have our groups, we have our people, like, got it. I'm going for 400 for the year, which is just seems like so many, right? But like, how amazing is that? It's like, I'm going to sit down at the end of the year and I'm going to look back and, you know, I'm going to get to see all of that. And I like
Amazing.
that. All right. So with that, what questions do you guys have about LIIFT4 that I can answer? I'll try to answer as many as I can. I can give away some things.
Can you tell us anything about the meal plan at all?
So like what?
I guess, how does it compare to containers, to 2B mindset? Like, is it completely different than both of those? I don't know.
Okay. So it's not time nutrition. So there's that, which I'm really happy about. And so there are containers that there's like, it goes with the containers. But I think that you guys will see, and I really, 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 really hope that you go into Joel's coach test group and you invite your people into Joel's test group. I personally, I was in Autumn's test group, and then that kind of got out of control a little bit, like super fast. So they're working on that. So hopefully that doesn't happen again. I think from To Be Mindset in Alana's group, she's the only one that can post in there. So I think that they definitely like grabbed a hold of that control, thankfully. And I would imagine the same thing, because as amazing and funny and witty as Joel is, he's like, is not going to take any prisoners. So he's just like, he came to work, you know what I mean? So I think that you're going to see, and I hope that you have your people come in there, because I'm really hoping that Joel gives the same tips to us that he gave to, he'll give to you guys, to the coach test group, as he's been giving to us when it comes to the nutrition part of it. So what I have personally been doing, and I can share that, is I use the containers for a nice like portion size, so I know my portions, because it's just easier than weighing your food. But then I also track my macros to make sure I'm getting enough protein with the Lose It app. Some people are using MyFitnessPal or whatever. So I think what you're gonna see is, whether it's the containers to show portion sizes, or it's To Be Mindset to use the Plate It method, the biggest thing is going to be making sure you get enough protein, which is going to be different from, To Be Mindset, because To Be Mindset's really exercises extra. But it's going to blend very well. It's going to blend very, very well. I can't say much about that. I really like it. Have you guys done quarter fours? Did you do the nutrition plan? Just go take a look at it.
Nope. I'll be perfectly honest.
Nope. I personally loved the quarter fours nutrition plan, and the LIIFT4 nutrition plan reminds me of that very much.
Okay.
So without the changing every couple of weeks, but the biggest focus is the making sure you get enough protein. And for me, it has been making sure that I, instead of reaching for another fruit or a healthy fat or like another carb, to like go for the protein instead. Let's see what's in the chat. Is LIIFT4 heavier lifting than Body Beast? How does it compare to the other programs with weight training? That is a hard question. These are all hard questions. So I've done all the other ones. You are lifting heavy. I've actually lifted heaviest in LIIFT4 than I ever have with any other programs, right out of the gate. So we're on week 4 right now, and I have lifted heavier straight out of the gate and then maxed my weight sooner. Like I've PR'd all of my weights up until this point. So, but you're not doing the different sets. So have you guys looked at the lift and hit workout on BOD with Joel?
Yeah.
So that's basically what this is, except for there's different days. So some days it's all circuit, some days it's a lift 50-50, some days it's hit, like all hit. But generally that lift and hit on BOD, I think that's the full body one. You do have like specific days, body part days. But that's honestly, it's going to give you the best insight to like what the programs are, except for Joel's not doing it. Joel's not doing the workouts with you. He's like a personal trainer. And he's like, it's really strange, because on Friday, I was like legit mad. Like I was just in a bad mood that day. And so I put off my workout, and then in the workout, he's like, it's okay, you can cuss me out. You'll thank me later. And I was cussing at that screen so bad. I went in the group and I was like, I'm so sorry, Joel, for all of the things I said to you. It's like weird because he was like saying the things and I was thinking them like, you need to go away. This is strange. But yeah, it was, I think though that I know as much as everybody is going to, you know, wonder about the workouts, the exercises are super basic. Everybody can do them. They're made so it's not complex. You're not going to like hurt yourself. The HIIT moves, if you like HIIT workouts, like it's gonna like, I love HIIT, but my body, like I like lifting weights. My body responds to HIIT training. And so like I've never had as quick results with a weight training program that I have with this one as quickly. Yes, there's a modifier. There's a modifier in there, and there will be like a band because it comes with a resistance band. So there will be like a band track for people who need to use the resistance band. But despite the workouts, I really, really think that, so I don't know if you guys are like me. I was telling Catherine before we started, I was like super worried about this 3 days off thing. Like, oh man, like, and everybody in the group super worried about this 3 days off because should I be doing something to get results? Because am I really going to get results if I'm not working out that much? On my off days, I do foam rolling on Wednesdays because my body hurts and I know I have to work out tomorrow. And then I do yoga on another day. And I do, I like take a whole day off. The biggest thing, the heart and soul of this is to get your workout in, get it out, and then go live your life. So on your off day, if you want to go for a run, if you want to go take a fitness class, if you want to, I don't know, do Sean week, if you like, it doesn't matter. Go do that. It's okay, but you don't have to do that. And it's a sense of freedom. And in the nutrition plan, I don't know if I'm supposed to tell you guys this, but I will. They mentioned the treat meal, which they have never like mentioned that in any program. But they mentioned that and they kind of give you like guidance on when to have that. But for me, that's huge because I was going to have a cheat meal anyway. So thanks for telling me I can. But it's this sense of, and the reason why I say be in the group with Joel is because there's this amazing sense of like freedom. Like you don't feel guilty if you didn't work out. You don't feel guilty if you didn't eat perfectly. Like you don't, it was like this huge weight was like lifted. Like I didn't have to, I don't dread my workouts because I work out for 2 days and I have a break and my body feels amazing from it. And then I'm mentally prepared to go into the next 2 days, but I'm getting results like super fast. Yes, you can definitely do this program long-term because it's so basic. Move-wise, like you're improving, you're upping your weights. As long as you have the weights or you can go into the gym, like there's no reason why you can't do it long-term. And he did like, so last week I was super starving, super hungry. And I felt a little bloated by the end of the week, but we had upped our weights that week. Like he like even said like, up your weights. So we had done that and you want to push yourself for like some way. You just want to like push yourself so hard. Like I've gotten to that point, you know, when you guys have done those weight training programs where it's like, oh man, like my wrist hurts or like my grip hurts or I don't know if I can do it, but I can like bust out these moves and stay on pace and I'm good with this. I might be able to go heavier, but I'm just good right here. Like you don't want to just stay right there. Like you're like, no, I need to do more. And so because you're always pushing yourself like that, but your muscles break down. And then like last week, my muscles were breaking down and they were recovering. But when they recover, they're so full. And so I felt really bloated and everybody kind of felt like bloated and like swollen and stuff. And he's like, calm down. But we ended up like this week, I felt amazing. Like you'll have that moment. So watch out for that. Bowflex, yes, I love and use my Bowflex Select Text. it does make it a little tricky because you're on pace, you're not getting a break, and he has no mercy. So what I would do is, unless you can like hurry up and switch them, and you kind of master that after like the first week when you learn the pace. If you do have sets of weights, like have all of the weights set up, and he kind of shows you how to set them up so you can move from one to the other. But make sure you have enough weights. I've used everything from 5 pounds. There's some of those workouts are super humbling. You go from like lifting 30 pounds to like having to do 5, and you're like, what the hell just happened? But I've gone from 5 all the way to, what did I use? I think I used a 60-pound weight for the goblet squat the other day. That was the heaviest I've used, and everything in between. But you'll have a tracker and stuff like that, so you can kind of gauge it. And you always do abs every day.
Is there going to be an app for tracking, or is it just going to be worksheets?
That's a good question. We just have a worksheet right now. It's just one solid worksheet, and the worksheet is just to gauge your weight. It's not for reps and stuff like that, because you do the same reps all the time. Anything else? So, like, I know we have less than a minute, but like I was telling Catherine, they're really going to start promoting a lot of it. So you're going to see a whole big push from everybody in the test group and everybody from Beachbody. So it doesn't matter what you know or you don't know or you've experienced or you haven't experienced. When you see a lot of people posting about it, grab it and use it, and use that to get your people into your own group. Do like a LIIFT4 sneak peek, do a LIIFT4 event, to just information stuff, but take it, own it, and don't, you know, like I know a lot of my team, they're like, oh, I wasn't in the group, so I can't say this stuff. Yes, you can. Do it. Take it, own it, and it'll be amazing. Does that help? Any other questions?
I'm excited.
It's amazing. You guys are gonna really, I don't know how many people from the test group have shared their stuff, but keep an eye out. There's been some like really amazing, I don't even know. I told my team, I was like, as soon as they say I can share this stuff, if I see somebody else posting, I'm sharing it. Like, I don't know if I can share it in the group, but if I see it posted on there, well, it's fair game. Yeah, it's a whole lot different, especially coming out of 80-day obsession. And especially from people going from 2B mindset and incorporating exercise. And there's so much freedom. Like, you don't, if you need to switch some days around, you can switch some days around. He's really relaxed. Joel's main thing is the lifestyle, that the life you're able to live. So you're not tailoring your life to your workouts, but your workouts are fitting into your life, which I didn't even realize I did that until I started this program. I was like, wow. I was kind of killing myself.